Okay. Hey, I'm glitching, and this is unscripted. I don't really have a direct thought, but I want to be able to at least voice, you know, my thoughts and be able to hopefully portray it in a manner that makes sense to me and makes sense to a lot more people. Um, I feel like I went through a lot of my life being taken advantage of, being belittled, just letting a whole lot of things slide and not really being able to, express my full opinion because I'm a very opinionated person and I'm very, very formal when it comes to what I have an opinion for because I only try my best to speak on what I know. And, if I just don't know a situation, I just try my best not to say anything, or I just try and be as far secluded from, what the topic is or whatever people want to represent about the topic. But I'm going to at least be as honest and as forward as I can with how I feel. How I feel. And I feel like this needs to be said, especially since obviously I'm an adult. I'm about to be 23 in a few weeks. And I want to change for my life. I want to not even really change. I really want to just adapt a lot more to what I want, what I need, and how I want people to perceive me and my story. Only I can really tell that, and only I can really express how I really feel to people. And to an extent, I use my music a lot as that. If I'm feeling happy a certain day, I use my music to explain that. If I'm thinking about something, a story, something from my past that I just want to talk about, I use my music to do that. If I'm depressed, I use my music. Like, I don't want my music to be a crutch. I want it to be, in a sense, a voice for all the times that I ended up being voiceless and all the times that I ended up not being able to fully just flat out say how I feel. you know a lot of the times, like, I'm a very focused on the bigger picture type of person. So I guess that's why a lot of times it may be perceived that I just let things slide, or I let, you know, just things be. And I definitely need to stop that. Because I'm going to be 100%. It's not worked out for me, to be honest. But in terms of music, in a sense, I know exactly what I want, but I don't know what I want. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm still coming into my own realization of what that means for me and what that means for anybody who associates themselves around me. So I may not be able to explain every single thing right now to people, but I know that in due time I'll be able to better express how I feel and how I want things to go and how I want people to perceive me as just me. I'm glitching. That's who I am, you know. I'm a human being first. I make a lot of mistakes. I'm not saying I'm perfect at all, and I don't want it to be perceived that way. But I want it to definitely be perceived that I'm a person that you could at least take a second chance on, because I make it up to a lot of people. And all the people who do know me, who know me for years, who express their own opinions about me, they know. So there's not much that I really need to speak on in terms of that. It's just more of getting out of my own head and being able to fully express how I feel. And that's the part that a lot of people have a problem with. That's the part that a lot of people have an issue with doing for themselves, is the fact that there are a lot of ignorant people, or I don't really even want to say ignorant. I just want to say it's just they're so based in their own ideals that it's really hard to, convince them, hey, there is a different option. There's something else. There may be something that you can do to better express this format, better to express your opinion, you know. Um, I'm from New York. I know that I'm from the Bronx, but I definitely wasn't raised or brought up with the same ideals that a lot of people from New York have. That's why I guess like people could tell based off my accent, whatever, that I'm from New York, but it's more so I see things a little bit differently. I take note of a lot of what the OGs and people who came before me know because again, I've only had 22 years on this earth. There's not much that I really know. And but there's a lot that I want to still figure out. There's a lot more that I still want to grow and develop and learn for myself. And it's not going to be easy, but I will never forget one of the sayings that one of my friends from back in high school had said, and those who went to my high school, y'all know. So I don't really need to say it, but you know, there's a lot of things that I want to do. So in a sense, I guess this could be a 1 year goal. So I talked about speaking things into existence into one of my songs, Abstract, and I want to speak true on the words that I speak within my music. So in a year, I'll have my clothing brand finalized, set up, manufacturer on deck, Shopify and website all set up, and in a sense, it's going to be a representation of things that I perceive, things that I feel, things that I notice from other people, and I've noticed from you know tons of people over the years. So I don't just want it to be a random thing. I want it to be something that has some type of representation. In a year, I want to have a record label, and I want to have not well at this point not even really a record label. I want to have a collective of my own people who know how to follow the lead and people who know how to take a back seat when there's somebody else who may have that better shine or who may have something better figured out, all because everybody else has, or not everybody else, but everybody has their own individual pluses that may make you better at some things than others, and that shouldn't be a bad thing. That should be just be something that to an extent you can embrace, but you can also adapt, and you can also build, and you can also grow and improve on the things that you don't know. And you don't have to be you know you don't have to be so prideful about it. um for me, I'm personally fine with admitting to things that I'm not right in. I'm perfectly fine with admitting to the fact that I messed up, and I do things that had been messed up, or I'd done things in the past that I look back on, I'm just like, damn, why the hell did I do that? Why the hell did I express this? Why the hell did I go about this in this type of manner? So now with it just basically being me, it's gonna be me. It's gonna be what I base on, what I want to do, how I want to move, how I want to improve, and how I want to show people, hey, this is what I represent. This is how I go about things. And if people have a problem with it, to be honest, I don't really care. Or if you give me a good reason to care, I'll listen, but I'll get back to you. And again, I'm not saying this in the sense of being perfect. I'm saying this in the sense of I'm a human being with things that I still have to improve on, whether that be music or whether that make my life. And I just want people to be a part of the journey. Also, within a year, I'll probably be verified. Probably have a few shows under my belt with some very, very talented artists or very, very talented individuals. Who knows, might get an OG. But, um, you know, I grew up with the notion that if you don't tell people your ideas, then more people won't be able to or more people won't be able to shoot them down. But to be honest, I really just say fuck that, and I really just say that's cat, because a lot of people could shoot down your ideas, but not a lot of people will go for what you really believe in, and go for what you truly want to stand about, or what you really want to be about. It's a problem. It's always perceived as a problem, and it's like, it really shouldn't. Again, I'm my own person. You're your own person. If you don't do something that I do, I ain't gonna sleep late at night. I'm not gonna overthink, or I'm not gonna compensate about that. It makes no difference. I know what I want to do, and as long as I got my heart beating, that's never going to change, and that's never going to subsidize what I want to do. So that's just a message to anybody who feels like they're stopping me just because you put me on a setback, just because you put me on a little bit of a decline. I'm still living. I'm still here. I'm still going to progress. I'm still going to move on. My life does not stop just because you stopped it for a little bit. I promise you. And that's also to say that eventually I have a plan that I want to put in place, and it'll come into fruition in due time. But right now, I got to stay down. I got to keep on working and keep on developing something that could at least be a foundation for me before this 1 year plan really goes into effect. Because once it does, well, I don't have the information for right now.